Hey everyone, DarkDragoon here with Season 2, Episode 44 of my FTB Modpack Let's Play. So we are pretty much picking up right where we left off last episode. Hopefully we're going to get our weird meat making machine done. But I'm back in the Thaumcraft base making a few more things. Particularly, I want to get some more of these arcane wood blocks. And our tiny little wand here isn't great for that, but in just a second we should have enough. There we go. It looks like the wands are now charging properly. I know before I was having some weird issues with that, but it seems to be working now. So what we're going to make is basically one of these arcane bellows. Not too bad. I just needed some of these arcane wood blocks. And let's see, we also should have the iron we need in here. Put those in there. And a bit of leather. And we should have an air shard as well. So, pretty simple. It's just going to be like so. Let's find our iron. I know we have some around here somewhere. There we go. Not a ton, but enough. There we go. So we're going to need a good amount of this aura and modus. And I've actually went ahead and made myself a good amount of our trapdoors. And I believe feathers have the aura we need. So, how much of that we need? 24. So, let's see here. 24 of that should do the trick. And of course my inventory is full as usual, but it's not too big of an issue. Ow. Stop it. Every time I try to use this thing. Alright, there we go. That should do the trick. We just need to slap our wand in there, and there we go. Arcane Bellows. Excellent. And things should run around and fix up any excess we have. So yeah, so there we go. Let's run back and let's get this thing. I'm hoping to get this thing done this episode, particularly considering that we're going to be off for a few days here coming up. I went ahead and you guys might not have seen my tweet, but basically I have to be out of my apartment for a little while, and I won't really be able to record while I'm not here. So yeah, so I'm basically going to have probably about 5 days off, call it a vacation. So, but don't worry, new episodes will be back next Monday, March 3rd or something like that is, I believe, when it is. So yeah, so basically we're just going to hop down here and we're just going to add our bellows right onto the side of this thing. There we go. You want to make sure that you click on the Infernal Furnace. This will actually do sort of two things for us. First of all, it will make this thing generate less flux, which is good. And second of all, it will also generate more nuggets for us, which is also very good. So there we go. So the last time we were working on this, we had pretty much gotten, we'd pretty much gotten this all set up so that we were sorting nuggets down one particular path through our sorting machine. And basically what we want to do is we want to keep doing that, but we want this stuff to head sort of over this way, and we want them to go probably into a chest, which will then feed an auto crafting table. That's probably the best way to go about this. So let's see here. Yeah, so we can actually keep this chest not here, but we'll go ahead and just move this and destroy our floor. And where did... make a bit more room here. Getting rid of some stuff. Give me that. And then we'll just... chest there. Paint this white. And then put our auto crafting table right here. And these are basically going to look something like this. We're basically going to combine each type of nugget with something else. So I'm just going to put these in here for now. So the next thing we need to do is we have sort of this part of it, but there's one other part to this whole contraption we need, and that is involving this over here. Basically, we need to take all of our sugar canes that we're producing here and pull them out and have them be auto-crafted into sugar, which isn't too bad, but yeah, we just need to basically dig around. So let's dig under here. How's our pneumatic tube situation? 23. Probably need a few more, but basically all I'm going to do is just dig over this way, and we'll see where we're coming out once we're over here. All right. Okay, that's actually kind of perfect, because then we can just run it over here. Okay. So yeah, I definitely want to be a little bit careful, because we don't want it to actually come out to there. We want it to go this way. Okay. Probably right out to here. Should do the trick. Cool. So yeah, so what we're going to do is probably, I'm thinking another chest right here. Do we have any wood or a spare chest available somewhere? Let's go ahead and throw down our tubing just to get that part out of the way. There we go. Oh, tiny bit of lag, that was weird. Okay, so yeah, so we'll just run it straight down to there. And then we should just be able to basically try to cover up most of this again. There we go. Let's see, I think we've got a spare chest sitting in here, but if we don't, we can just make one. Okay, it doesn't look like we do. Not too bad. This actually isn't too... This build hasn't been too resource intensive, and that's kind of cool, because I think it's going to be really neat when it's done. So, chest here, and auto crafting table there, and that pretty much will just require a tiny bit of sugar to get set up, because the sugar canes just convert 1 to 1, so we just have to basically put them in and they'll come out as sugar. So from there, what we want to do is we're going to need some wooden pipes and some autarkic gates, which I'm not actually sure if we have any autarkic gates made. So if we don't, I'll just have to clip the video real quick and make some. Looks like we only have one of those. I'll need another. Dang it. I thought we had some wood over there. Apparently not. So, this part of the build should come together pretty quickly, I think, because we pretty much did all the hard part last episode, which was getting the infernal furnace going and all that. Okay, it looks like I've got one autarkic gate, and I don't really want to use an iron one. So, why don't I make that off camera, and I'll be back. Alright, so I'm back, and got our autarkic gate, so we can go ahead and set these up. Basically, what I'm thinking is, gonna need some wooden pipes coming off of these, like so. Try and decide exactly how we want to set this up. Actually, maybe like so. Just so we have sort of this middle area is open. And those are going to have autarkic gates on them. Pretty simple. And I'm not going to set those up just yet because I want to make sure that all this stuff has some place to go. And then I'm going to set up relays, basically so that we can switch back from over from these buildcraft pipes to pneumatic tubes, which means we're going to need a few more pneumatic tubes, but yeah. So should be something like so. Cool. Alright, yeah, we're definitely going to need more of these. So from there, this stuff is basically going to run. I'm pretty sure these relays can actually be turned sideways and still work, so I'm going to do that. If we can grab our sonic screwdriver. There we go. Because we can always just that way we don't have to dig too far down, and we can just use covers to cover this all up. So Okay, so we got our pneumatic tube coming out like so, and that wants to go over to join with all the nuggets in this chest. So basically we just have these coming in right here. Alright, just enough to do that part. So yeah. So hopefully you guys can see sort of where we're going with this. And obviously this is going to connect to some piping to take it to a barrel with our final product, because this is where our final product is going to be. So yeah, let me make some more pneumatic tubes and I'll be back. Alright, so I just wanted to go ahead and put a slab here so that this does not connect with the rest of our system. And we're pretty much in the phase of sort of the last part of this, so I'm just gonna, I think what we're gonna do is just dig down one and have this all be underground and go that direction. I guess technically we could have it be above. I'm not sure what I would rather prefer. I kind of like it being up. Tell you what we'll do is we'll build it up, and you guys can let me know if you like the tubes visible. We'll leave it this way, and if not, I'll change them. I'll change it off camera between now and next episode. So let me know. Let me know what you guys prefer: visible pipe or hidden pipe underground. For now we'll make it visible. Not really for any other reason besides why not. If we're gonna make a crazy contraption, maybe we'll make it be visibly crazy. So, contraption-y. I just made that word up. It's fine. So, there we go. I think we've got everything pretty much done. I'm just trying to dig under here to grab all this stone so I can use it to cover this stuff up again. And I probably will get some, I think I'll get some glass covers for all that. Yeah, that could look good. Again, more visible, more good. Alright, so pretty much all we have left to do is really to test this thing out. And so to do that, we're going to, I'm going to remove these because I don't really want this to pull stuff yet. But yeah, so should be as simple as this. Go in here, let's see. This is pretty much always going to be on, so redstone signal off, energy pulsar. And that should drop things into the relay, which should drop them into there. And obviously none of this stuff has anything to do. So, oh wait, there's one other thing we need to set up, and that's going to take a little bit of work. So let me put some thought into how I want to tick this thing. Alright, I think I've got this thing worked out, and I think it's going to be actually pretty simple. So we're just going to convert some of these over to redstone tubes, and then basically do this. Now we need a bit of that red alloy wiring, that way it sticks. And then we're going to put our timer right here, which I think I left back inside for some reason. Because basically I really only want this pulling things out when the machine is running. So when the machine is off and we're not, generating any animals, I really don't want this timer to go. Partly because it's a little more elegant that way, and it saves us some lag as well. So definitely want to be sure that that is set. Cool. So now, do I have a lever on me? I kind of just want to stop this from going while I get this thing set up. But you can see it actually is pretty cool. It's going to just run all of this sugar right down the line to where it needs to be, when it needs to be there. So, cool. Now we need to tap into, basically we need to tap into our line here. So we could probably do that right here. Yeah, that'll work. Not actually sure we're going to have enough of this, but Yeah, we're going to need more jacketed wiring, definitely. Because I think we want to run it underneath here. As I'm sitting here trying to think about how to best do this, of course. Yeah, definitely going to need more. Oh, close. Definitely was close to what we needed. Let's see, where's our... Get out of here. Alright, let me get out of here and then sleep through the night. Alright, I think we have plenty of this stuff now, but we're having a few issues with sort of how this thing is coming together. So, basically what we're going to do is we're just going to worry about covering things up here in a minute. So, basically if we just run this like so, slap that there, because in order to stop this thing we have to turn this redstone signal on. Just by the virtue of this lever being flipped down, this timer will stop, and then as soon as the machine turns on, the timer will go. Cool. So that is exactly what we want, and I can probably adjust the speed of the timer as needed, because we probably don't need it to be really fast, but I want it to be fast enough so that we can get enough sugar to handle what we're doing. I'll probably do that after I've tested it off camera a little bit, just to sort of get a feel for what that speed is going to be. So basically, I'm just going to take a few minutes here to clean this all up, and then when I come back, we'll test this thing out. Alright, so I think we're just about cleaned up here. I think what I'll do later on is I'll just replace all this dirt and smooth stone along the walls with some cobble brick there. And yeah, so pretty much we are ready to start testing this thing out by just adding some sugar there. And that's going to give us triple meat treats, which is going to be our final product. And you can see it's already pumping them out and sending them along the tube system all the way to our barrel over there. And of course it makes as many as it can, used up all the sugar we had in here. And so yeah. So, let's test this thing out. It's ready to go. Start to finish. Turn it on. You can see our golems get hard at work, slaughtering all the animals. Of course we're going to have small problems with our wood golem worker holding a piece of dirt. Alright, let me see if I can't fix this problem. And I'll do that off camera real quick. Okay, he's back to doing his thing. I think what I'm going to do is probably make another one of these guys, because as fast as he is, he's not quite fast enough for my liking. So, and I think another one will probably do the trick pretty good. But let's go ahead and flip that back on, and we'll go down here and watch this side of the whole thing, since we've definitely seen that it's spawning animals properly. Look at this triple meat treats right here. They don't look like hot dog nuggets, do they? Nope. They look kind of disgusting, but I assure you they're actually pretty good. They're going to be a good source of food, and I believe they also give a touch of regen when you eat them. So, come on. Alright, what's our sorting machine doing here? Seems to be stuck for some reason. Why is... That's incredibly strange why that was broken like that. It's probably what the problem with our sorting machine is. Alright, let me, I'm gonna break this thing off camera, and actually no, I can just do it real quick here, I think. I hate breaking these. Stuff always comes flying out, and... Alright, so... Well, seems like that was set up right. Okay. Flip this around. Okay. There we go. And then pork and beef. And chicken should go down the brown path. There we go. Now, like I said, this should be going. I don't know what its problem is at the moment. Something is very strange here because this was working just fine last episode. Alright, let me fiddle around with this for a minute and figure out what's going on. Okay, looks like we've got it fixed. I'm not exactly sure what was going on there, but it's working again. So we've got all the meats being pumped down into our infernal furnace, which should immediately start churning out cooked meat and nuggets. The bellows, like I said, is helping make sure we're getting a little bit of extra nuggets, which is very cool, helping to reduce the amount of flux that is generated. Looks to be pretty much generating a nugget per every time it runs, which is really kind of nice. That's exactly what I want to see. Of course, our little golem is hard at work trying to keep up here. Yeah, like I said, a second golem would probably be a good idea there. So, shouldn't be too long before we should have plenty of sugar in here. Part of me is also half tempted to put in another infernal furnace, which we could definitely do. I'm not sure. Because it runs pretty slow, and that's not great, because we definitely want to make sure that we're having tons of material ending up in this chest. But even after running for just a few seconds, we pretty much have enough raw materials that this is going to automatically make a bunch of nuggets. So it doesn't even necessarily have to be something that's on, that we turn on all the time. Just we can flip it on for a couple seconds, get ourselves some raw materials, and then just basically let our system go and do its thing on its own. So yeah, it's taking a little while to cook through all the pork. So as soon as this gets to the point where it's gotten us some chicken nuggets, I'll be back and we'll see the second half of this system, and hopefully it's all working now. Alright, I am back, and as you guys can see, I put together a couple more of these infernal furnaces, and we're pretty much just duplicating our build as we had over there. Basically because we're just gonna have these different types of meats go to different places, so not too big a deal. Probably do something like this. Obviously we'll have to flip these around, but we'll go cyan. Is that not gonna? Okay, there we go. It doesn't actually show up until it's got more than one there. And we'll make this one green. There we go. Let's see where our screwdriver is. Where'd you go? Come on. There it is. Also going to grab our battery out of here because we're kind of in need of more power in this thing. Eventually I'll get around to getting a charging station made. There we go. That should drop the meats into those places, and obviously right now these won't go anywhere because nothing's going to be attached yet, but okay. And if we pop up into our sorting machine, we can adjust this pretty casually. So we'll go cyan, and don't think there we go. We'll just do chicken and then beef. That way only pork will go to brown, only chicken will go to cyan, and only beef will go to the green. So there we go. And then from there, it's pretty much the same exact setup on this side as well. Going to have to move some things around, obviously, because we obviously have some problems here, but there we go. Alright, so pretty much let's see what we have to do to move some stuff around here. We're realistically, we can just use this line right here, and that's not a problem. I think the only actual main change we're going to have to make is this. And this will still work perfectly, I think. Hopefully. Luckily, because of covers, we can really make the most of our space. There we go. And then we'll just dig down here and slap our relay down. Spin it around. So it's that way. Cool. And then, where's our, let's see here. Where's our saw? There it is. Let's get ourselves a couple covers here. Should do the trick. There we go. That way we can just run this straight down and over to here. And then of course this will also have to be moved around a little bit, but that's okay. So let's see here. I think we should just be able to do this. We'll just pop that off of there and move this stuff over one. And of course, where our inventory is messed up again. So let me take a minute to clean up my inventory and I'll be back. Okay, I got my inventory a little bit more under control, at least enough so that we can sort of work with this. And definitely going to need covers. That'll help. So this should literally just be able to pop right up, right in here. And actually I'm a little bit worried that it's going to try to go into the, I don't think it'll try to go into the transposer, so we'll just do that and hopefully that won't cause any major problems. So yeah, so the only other thing we really need to do is get this hooked up. This is where the triple meat treats come out, so this needs to hook up to some larger systems. So let's just do something like this maybe. Of course, covers. Covers are our friend. There we go. And then should be able to go straight up like so. This looks very complex and sort of crazy, but I think that's kind of what we're going for. So there we go. And you should just be able to maybe, if we can get up here and get a bit of a better. How is that? Of course broke. So there we go. That should, so long as we flip the relay around to face the proper direction, that should work out for us. And of course, we'll put glass covers on top of this section. Have to make sure everything's connected that needs to be. There we go. That'll make sure that those don't connect. So basically the idea is all of this stuff should go right along here straight into this sorting machine. I hope. That's how it should work. There might be some bugs to work out, but hopefully there won't be. So I'm just gonna cover that in there as well. Alright, so now that we've got this thing sort of fully set up, let's go ahead and test it really quick because I want to make sure that this is all going to work the right way. It should, because everything should still find its way toward the sorting machine. Because the transposers don't exactly set themselves to a color. So let's just turn this thing on and see what happens. Lever. I've also got went ahead and got that second worker golem going, and I think that's hopefully going to be able to keep up a little bit better with this. Looks like they're doing an okay job. Alright, so let's pop down Got chicken turning cyan, perfect. Should start seeing some other colors stuff. Pork's brown. And things are coming out. They appear to be going the right direction into the sorting machine. Looks good so far. Okay, and steak is green. Very cool. Now obviously with the more infernal furnaces you have, the more it's going to eat up your aura, but we could fix that pretty easily by just getting ourselves a couple more bellows and hooking those up onto unused sides. Obviously, this middle one probably has the most problems being hooked up with multiple bellows, but look at that thing go. We're actually going at a really good clip. I like the fact we put in a couple more of these because now we're actually going to be producing tons and tons of nuggets. So many that we're probably... What's going on here? Just one thing I want to... Oops. Make sure that we turn that on. And of course, this needs its gate back on there. Energy pulsar. And there we go. Triple meat treats. Look at them go. Alright. Awesome. This is our crazy hot dog chunk making machine. That's working way better than I was expecting it to. Producing tons of sugar, obviously. But yeah. It's really working out exactly how we wanted it to. Awesome. So, yeah, I think this is done. I think we've got it working as intended. So let's go ahead and shut it off, because we have tons and tons of these meat treats and tons of animals left in here for the golems to slaughter. So I'm going to sleep through the night real quick, and as soon as I have some hunger, I'll be back and I'll show you guys these triple meat treats. Alright, really quick, we're about at the point where we need to call this episode, but we got a little bit of hunger, so I'll show you guys. We got our triple meat treat, and yum yum. Bam. So, nice regen. Very, very cool. Awesome. So, yeah, like I said, this is about where we need to call this episode. So, this has been Season 2, Episode 44 of DarkDragoon's Feed the Beast Modpack Let's Play. Hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I'll catch you guys later.